that's the story of leadership that each one of us can learn from.
Well, yes, I think it's always about wanting to excel under pressure. You know, it's about being present in that moment and understanding the importance of the moment. You know, all those factors are very important when you're looking at the pressure situations, and that's what the game is all about, isn't it? If you are making the impact when it counts, it goes a long way, and to be able to do that, you always got to want that. You know, so I used to look at those situations that way, and it just kind of becomes your second nature then, because you're looking at the game that way. You know, you're looking at contributing towards team success, yes, but also when the team needs you the most, you got to be able to put your hand up. And I think that is something which comes from within, from you believing that you will be able to make that difference. And that's something which I used to try and achieve. Not every time you're going to be successful, but if you have the mindset like that, if you have the outlook towards those situations that way, more often than not, you will be able to make that impact, which really goes a long way when you're looking at setting up the game for your team.
And that you are doing as a player. It is different because you have the agency. Zaheer Khan, ball in hand, can make a difference. There are many of my friends from the media, and I've got to do my job for them. When Lucknow Super Giants, and this is under the sun as well, but this is a question that fits in with my theme of leadership. Lucknow Super Giants missing Mayank Yadav, Akashdeep, Avesh Khan still not there, and in that first, Mohsin Khan not part of the season. You've lost the first game, which you should have won, almost by the skin of the teeth. You're going to Hyderabad, people saying, we will smash you for 300 runs. You've got a young bowling attack. All of a sudden, Zaheer Khan from the back end of the backcourt delivers with his team a performance that takes the finalists down. How does a Zaheer Khan do that? What was the leadership talk? What was the behind the scenes that you were able to do that?
Well, there are a few aspects to this. I feel that it starts from the auction planning. And when we set the team up for the season, we looked at our squad being 24 people who will be able to make the impact in the season as and when required. You know, when you're looking at your squad like that, when you're looking at your team like that, each and every member of that team is valuable and important. So when we had the challenges around the injuries, we basically as a leadership group, and that's where I'm very proud of my team because the experienced players in our setup, they were actually very clear that we're going to focus on what's in our hand. We're going to work with whatever we have, not really talking about what we don't have. And I think that's the most important aspect. If you focus on the positives, if you focus on what you've got and how to get the best out of that, that's when you start seeing results, because you are focusing on the right things. So that's the way we collectively decided, and that's something which you're going to see right throughout the season. You know, process is something which matters to this team, and how to find a way of winning game of cricket every time you're out there is something which everyone is clear about. So it's about the guys who are taking the field, knowing that they've got the freedom of making the decisions for the team, for themselves, to give ourselves the best chance of finding the right way of producing the result, and that's something which I'm very proud of the whole squad.
Sport is about economy. How important do you reckon it is? And if India wins 2036 with Kirsty Coventry, we hope we will. If we do get the chance to bid for post 2036, again 20 times escalation of the brand, cricket in the Olympics. Your thoughts?
I think it's a step in the right direction. There is no doubt about it. There's been talk for a while. Eventually, it's going to happen now, which is very exciting for our country as well, and to make that impact. So I think it's about the growth of the game, and you've seen cricket has been evolving. The T20 for sure, since the time it has come in 2007-8, things have been fast tracked with regard to reach of the game in various part of the world. So that is something which is very exciting for all of us. I have no doubt that it's like I said, that it's just the beginning of what can happen and the possibilities of game getting bigger and bigger. Also to mention the fact that ICC has been running the cricket development program in so many countries, so that is something which is going to have the impact at the right time, with more countries coming in, and when you're looking at test match cricket, I feel that the test matches will stay the way it is, and maybe have more competition with a condensed group of teams competing against each other. But when you're looking at this format, you will see the other nations also catching up, and that is something. Once that starts happening consistently, you'll see the game growing rapidly, and Olympics is just going to be that perfect platform with that regard, to give that kind of weightage for other countries also to take the game seriously and do the right things in terms of promoting and setting the infrastructure for the game to grow.
I'll quickly ask you one more before I go to Nikki B. Last 10 odd minutes on the panel before I sort of give it to Shashwat. You mentioned Test cricket, and when I now see something like a Border Gavaskar Trophy, I see tremendous interest, whether in Australia, whether in India, in terms of consumption. Melbourne Cricket Ground, I was there first 4 days, 80,000 people turning up, 85,000 people turning up. Sydney the same. This is what gives me heart, that this is one sport where multiple formats can coexist in the same way. In England already a sellout. Are you kind of worried about Indian Test cricket, or you're like, no, this is also in great shape, great health, like in white ball, that the level of talent is as good?
Not at all. I think I've been actually endorsing the fact that Test cricket should run parallel. I think the time has come where you can have Test matches and a ODI series or a T20 series going parallelly, because you've seen it's getting completely separate teams for each format. As we move along in that direction, you've seen there are enough people who are keen followers of Test cricket, and in fact, people are getting more and more attracted towards the Test cricket format as well, because the Test cricket now is producing more results, and I think that is the exciting part. The strong teams are playing 5-match series, which is again a step in the right direction. The two teams competing hard really keeps that interest going. I think if you just add a layer of running Test cricket parallelly to the white ball cricket as well, it will just enhance the whole experience for the fans as well. This is what I feel.
Nikki B, our India of our dreams, which is being seen there on the sports field. When you are seeing these youngsters in the dressing room, Zaheer, tell me about that. Do you feel fulfilled as a former legend of the game?
Well, I think what's exciting for me is to see that the determination, the hunger to success, and the opportunity. You can make out that if I have to just kind of put things into perspective, 2008 when IPL started, or let's go back to Nairobi, when I made my debut, we had just one physio there, right? Two IPL coming in, and the setup which I was talking about, becoming more and more professional. You have now the side armers which has been introduced. You have the support bowlers which are traveling with the team. You have maybe 2 or 3 masseurs traveling, 2 or 3 physios traveling, 2 trainers traveling. So that's the growth of cricket which you're talking about, and that's the level of support which you're talking about. So 2008 IPL started. I think there were about 600, 800 players been registered, and you're talking about the last auction, mega auction, about 1600 players been registered, and that's the story you're talking about. So I feel that the talent which used to maybe move away from the game because there were limited opportunities is now not going anywhere. In fact, more numbers are getting added to to having that dream of being part of any of the franchisees, which is going to fast track their journey of playing for the national team. And you could feel that. You could feel every time you go in the dressing room with all these uncapped players coming through. They're just so eager to have conversations with Nicky P, with Rishabh, with any of the senior players who played at the international level, and just to fast track their thing, just to absorb the knowledge and then work on it in the off season if need be. Take your game to the next level. All those factors are so promising for Indian cricket to continue to dominate as they move along. And I think that's something which gives me a lot of fulfillment when I work with them to provide them that platform, to provide them those experiences, share my experiences, and provide them that knowledge which is going to take their game higher.
Last few minutes, I know her team made the final of the World Cup in 2005. Even after that, they had to travel in unreserved compartments. The women's game, massive progress. What about that?
Like I said, when we're talking about growth of cricket, it has to be in all directions, and women's cricket is also an integral part of that. And since the time BCCI has taken the women's cricket with them, you've been seeing all these changes, which are the positive changes, which is going to take the game higher. You've seen the popularity of WPL, how it's growing year on year. Is definitely setting that strong platform for the growth of women's cricket also. And like I said, like how we've seen with IPL, the example which I was giving of maybe 600, 800 players getting registered to going 1600. Is a similar story which will be unfolding with WPL as well, with more and more women cricketers taking up the game, seeing it on TV, seeing it progressing is going to attract more and more talent towards the game, and that is going to be the real story as we move along in years to come, which will have a great positive impact on India eventually winning the World Cup. I think that's one thing. They came close in England, but I think that one goal which the women's team must have is to win that trophy, and that's going to really set. You've seen it with cricket in 1983, and it's going to be no different with women's cricket as well.
Spot on. Women's cricket needs that 2011 moment or the 1983 moment. Nicholas nurtured the IPL brand to kind of see that India can put out 2 or 3 teams in white ball cricket which are as good. Clearly, institution has done something which is right.
Yes, absolutely. When you're looking at and where the institution has to be credited for is creating the infra. The support system which is so crucial for at the grassroots level infrastructure which I'm talking about. You look at the academies. I think it started with NCA setting up the National Cricket Academy in back in 99 or 2000, and then from there having those zonal academies, having those programs which are creating that similar protocol, those protocols which are so important by creating the coaches which are on the same page. I think back in the days what was happening was a lot of academies, all the coaches were having their own thoughts. So it was not streamlined. So to get everyone going in one direction, which was so crucial, I think the courses which are run, not just the training part I'm talking about, but also in terms of the knowledge sharing, the coaching philosophies which were set by various programs at NCA, be it level 1, level 2 coaching, the players which were moving on from the game, getting retired, giving them that opportunity of coming in the coaching in the right way, something which really set that grassroots level development strongly, and then the academies to having different programs with states, which is the age group program. All those factors really sets that foundation very strong. So I think that's where the institution's role becomes very crucial, and BCCI has been very good with setting those processes over the years.
One of the greatest bowlers for India, perhaps the greatest left-arm fast bowler of all time, World Cup winner. Seriously, India will need him.
Of course, not by applying though. Not by applying.
You just didn't mind India as a heckler.
Yeah, of course.
So
Facts are fact. You asked me for the facts. I've given you
so
facts.
if you're asked to take up the job for the sake of India, hand it up.
It will be an honor.
Tremendous.